Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group, and today we are going to be analyzing pairs that we'll be looking at this week. So before going deep, if you haven't done so, please check out our free signals Telegram channel as well as hitting that subscribe button so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. So as always, we start with the US dollar index since we are going to be analyzing the USD pairs. This is to get a bias on these pairs. So the pairs that we'll be looking for, actually some of the pairs that we'll be looking for this week in the VIP channel are the USDCHF, GBPUSD, AUDUSD, USD CAD. So to begin off, we'll start with the USD index, which is the guide of the dollar as a currency. So the first thing is I always do is to go on the higher time frame. In this instance, I'm going to use the daily time frame, and from there we can see that we had the first impulse. After that, we had the second impulse and the last impulse. So it is normal for us to anticipate a move from this point where the price closed last week to this region, so that we may take off from this point up to this. This is highly probable, and we will have to look for setups that support this move. It is also possible to see that this pair may actually take off from this point, since there has been several touches at the same region on the H4 time frame. So with that being said, we will go to USD against CHF to see if it actually supports a move whereby we will take off directly from this point. However, this is not a signal, but we have to be reactive of the setups that will be issued when the markets open. So on USDCHF, we can see that it also has the same play, whereby we had a cycle completed or three impulses completed on the daily time frame. Then on the H4 time frame or the H1 time frame, to have clarity, we can see that we had the first impulse, the second impulse from this point to there, then the third impulse, and after that we had a consolidation phase whereby we restarted our impulsive moves from this point up to there, then from this point up to there, and the last level or the last impulse up to there. Then from there we had a peak reset or an initiation of the peak, whereby we had the first impulsive move up to there. Then we had a beautiful retest of the crown of this setup. So my anticipation on USDCHF is actually clear. We have had three impulses from this point up to this point, and it's highly probable to have a combination of these impulses going up. Therefore, with this being said, we can actually see that on USD index, it's likely to take off directly from this region going up. So I will be looking for buys if this holds. Then on GBP against the dollar, we can see that on the daily time frame we had the first impulse from this point to this point and some consolidation in between these. Then from there we had the second impulse, meaning that we now had two levels of rise. Then from this point this is where we now have a choppiness or a choppy rise of price. So going on the H4 time frame, we can see that on the H4 time frame we have had the first impulse, a reset, second impulse, a reset. As you can see, these were resets. The first reset, the second reset, and then from there we now had the last rise. So on the last rise we had a period of consolidation. As you can see, we had this moment of consolidation. Therefore we had not had the three impulses of the H4 time frame. So going on the H1 time frame, one can see that the market issued the first, the second, and then the third. On this scenario, we had a fakey multi-day M. Here there were sellers at this point, implying to drop, but the market makers decided to pull above this level. Therefore they cleared stop losses above this anticipated setup. So from the TDI we can see squeezing of the Bollinger Bands of the TDI. Therefore this signifies that a drop is imminent, or a breakout of this indicator is imminent. So my anticipation on this trade is to have a little bit of some consolidation or no consolidation at all, but I will be looking to go short in the VIP signals channel. So this is my anticipation on GBP against dollar. Then on AUD against US, we can see that this pair has had almost three impulses of rise. We can see that we had the first one, after that we had the second one, and we had a period of consolidation. This was a period of consolidation, then the last one, and on the last one, going on the H4 time frame, we can see that we had the first H4 impulse, the second H4 impulse, and we were issued a period of consolidation where there was no rise at all. As you can see, price just make a doom and came back to the initial point. So this was a consolidation, and from there we now go to the H1 time frame. We can see that price issued the first rise, the second rise, then this was also an anticipated third rise. However, with time and with also clearing of stop losses, the market makers showed us that there was consolidation up to this point, and this was the last push. So from this push, I anticipate to see some consolidation, or a setup to go short. I hope each and everyone is following up on my reactive ways. I'm saying the first thing is to see a setup or confirmation for whatever I'm saying. I'm not giving you signals. As I always say in these videos, we better be reactive rather than predictive. So this is what I'm anticipating on AUD against dollar. Then my last pair to analyze today is USD against CAD. On USD against CAD, I'm going to start off on the H4 time frame, which actually initiated its impulsive moves at this point. And as you can see from this point, we can see that we had the first drop, the second drop, and we had the last drop. And this drop actually terminated at this zone. This was the zone where this drop terminated. So on the daily time frame, we can see that we have reached the same zone that we actually reached the last time. So my anticipation on this pair will be to look on going long if I have been issued a setup. This is also supported by these drops. The first drop on H1, the second drop, and then the last drop. So I imply or I anticipate to see a move of going long, and this follows after sufficient confirmations as well as setup presentation. So as you be trading this week, if you are trading alone, I advise you to be cautious, as we still not have a proper or a confirmed bias on the USD index. So the first thing is to see how the USD index is going to perform or is going to move when the markets are opened. So I wish you a beautiful trading week, and please make sure to practice proper risk management, as it is the sole basis of profitable trading. And whenever you catch a good trade after seeing a good setup, please make sure you let it run and make sure you cut your losses short.